From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, January 17th. Some mild and dry air is coming into the state for our Tuesday. We're going to have some sunshine throughout the day as well. Temps are going to look to sneak back into the 50s again by the late afternoon hours. And we were following breaking news this morning. Indiana Republican Congressman Jim Banks is officially the first candidate to formally enter the Senate race. Banks announced his campaign with a video message around 6 o'clock this morning. The congressman is serving Indiana's 3rd district right now, the northeast corner of the state. Banks has been a strong defender of former President Trump and voted against certifying Joe Biden's presidential election victory. Months later, then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi rejected a decision to put Banks on the January 6th committee. Banks also recently criticized current Senate Republicans for compromising too much with the Biden administration on a $1.7 trillion spending bill. Banks wrote in a statement in part, "We need conservatives in Washington who are not afraid to fight back against the radical socialist Democrats who are trying to change America." Banks is running for the Senate seat being vacated by GOP Senator Mike Braun, who is now running for governor. Fire investigators are working to figure out what caused an early morning fire that killed a man on the northwest side. It happened around 2 this morning at a home on 61st near Michigan Road. IFD was there. The flames just engulfed the home. Crews there told us that the victim was possibly a hoarder and conditions at the home made it difficult to get to him. Investigators believe he died of smoke inhalation and do not suspect foul play. Today, a Beech Grove father is set to appear in court after neighbors saw his young son playing alone with a gun. The case is now national news, in part because it played out on the reality show On Patrol Live. Shane Osborne now faces felony child neglect charges. It all started Friday when police say a neighbor called 911 to report the child pointed the gun at them outside their apartment. IMPD says Osborne told officers he didn't have a gun and even helped police search for one. It would have ended there, but police say a neighbor handed over the video as they prepared to leave the scene. It was some outside doorbell camera. The boy is seen waving the gun around and even pulling the trigger a few times. Officers say they asked the boy where he put the gun, and the boy led them to it inside a desk. Police arrested Osborne Saturday and took the gun. News 8 spoke with one of the neighbors who saw the boy and called 911.
I came back to the door and opened it to see where he was, and he was up the stairs, and that was when he looked down and pointed it at me and said something like, look what I got, ha ha.
Osborne could face up to 2 years in prison and fines up to $10,000 under current Indiana child abuse laws. Osborne's hearing is set for 1:30 this afternoon. And the mayor of Beech Grove says police notified him of the arrest shortly after it happened. In a statement, Dennis Buckley writes, "As with all of you, I am mortified at what took place, and I'm so thankful that no one was hurt, especially the young child." He goes on to say, "I ask that the Marion County Prosecutor's Office work tirelessly to secure charges and a conviction against the responsible parties with maximum penalties. Society shouldn't accept anything less." To iTeammate and the new call to action from the family of a man who died in police custody. Herman Whitfield III's parents have released the unedited body camera footage from the night he died. Whitfield died last April at his parents' home. IMPD initially released edited video a month later. Then Whitfield's family won a lawsuit to get the full video. It shows Whitfield was tased and held to the ground despite pleas he couldn't breathe. The coroner's report showed Whitfield's heart stopped as officers restrained him. He was pronounced dead at the hospital 45 minutes later. His parents said at the time that Whitfield was in the middle of an emotional crisis. The family's attorney, Rich Waples, says that he was vulnerable, unarmed, and tried to avoid officers. Waples says that they will use all of the raw body camera video as evidence in their federal wrongful death suit. A Bloomington man faces multiple charges after a fight at a Walmart led to his arrest. It happened last night at the store at State Road 45 and I-69. It started as a call to report 4 to 5 people fighting. Deputies say they saw a man, Matthew Wall, with a bloody face and trying to leave the scene. They tried to stop him, but he took off. When police did catch him, they found a handgun, 2 magazines, and ammunition. Officials say security video shows Wall fighting another man who was in the store with 2 children. Wall now faces charges for having a firearm as a serious violent felon, battery, resisting law enforcement, and criminal recklessness. More locations connected to President Biden could be searched for classified documents. That's according to a CNN report citing multiple anonymous sources. Biden's team says it has already searched a private office in Washington, D.C. and his 2 Delaware homes. According to CNN's report, it's unclear where more searches could happen or who would conduct them. This comes as House Republicans demand the White House turn over all information related to its searches for classified documents. As we've reported, a special counsel is now investigating the documents already found at Biden's home in Delaware. Southwest Airlines says it's working toward changes after last month's holiday travel meltdown. The airline sent an email to customers last night outlining the current status and what's next. The company says it has returned nearly all missing bags and has processed refunds for those who qualified. Southwest also says it hired an aviation consulting firm to assess the meltdown and make recommendations. The airline says it will now dedicate more than $1 billion of its annual operating plan to improve and maintain IT systems. And this morning, California is cleaning up after another wave of deadly storms churned through the state. Officials say heavy rain is causing flooding and mudslides in several parts of the state. California's governor says at least 20 people have died as a result of the most recent storms. President Biden is scheduled to travel to the state's central coast on Thursday to tour the destruction. To business headlines, new analysis shows the impact on food and housing prices. Americans are spending an extra $371 a month because of inflation. Moody's Analytics says families are spending roughly $82.60 more per month on shelter and $72 more on food. The United States e-commerce payment market is expected to grow to $1.97 billion in 2028 from $875 billion in 2022. Shopping through a mobile device has become common. Researchandmarkets.com found mobile apps are the leading channel for online grocery shopping, with nearly 80% of shoppers making purchases through apps in 2021. Twitter offers free ads as it seeks to woo brands back to its platform. The Wall Street Journal reports the tech company tried to match advertisers' ad spending up to $250,000. The incentives are the latest effort by the company to get brands to spend on its platform. An average of 1,600 tech workers have been laid off every day of 2023 so far. That's as 91 tech companies globally have axed 24,151 jobs just 15 days into 2023. Amazon, Meta, and Salesforce top layoffs. FYI's list with about 18,000, 11,000, and 800,000 staffers laid off respectively. Indiana is doing okay when it comes to driving. WalletHub ranks the Hoosier State 10th best for traffic. Indiana did well for the cost of vehicle of ownership and maintenance. Congestion cost the traffic U.S. driver $869 in wasted time during 2022, with an average 51 hours spent sitting in traffic. And the Pacers are now riding on a 4-game losing streak. The team dropped its first road trip game yesterday to the Milwaukee Bucks, 132-119. Miles Turner made a valiant return to the floor from injury, leading the way with 30 points. TJ McConnell added a career-high 29 points off the bench. 25 of those points came in the first half alone. Pacers led at the half, but a 39-point run in the fourth quarter by the Bucks sealed the Bucks' win. The Pacers are still without injured star point guard Tyrese Halliburton. The team plays again tomorrow against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.